For me, so I study primates, and I'd say all of that definitely started with visiting the Brookfield Zoo a lot. I grew up in Chicago, and my dad, in particular, was really interested in like watching animals and visiting the zoo. So we did that pretty regularly. And I think our favorite stop along the way was always the primate house. And so that's kind of where I got an appreciation for, watching primates, seeing what they were up to, and also thinking about how similar they were to us in terms of their relationships and how there would be like a mother gorilla or whatever primate we were watching and the way that it was caring for their infants and how the younger individuals were interacting with each other reminded me of my siblings. And so I think it definitely started there. And then when I went off to university, I was pre-med actually when I first started. But then I took a class in human evolution, and a big part of that was studying primates. And so before that, I didn't realize there were people who had careers in just studying primates. And so I thought that was really cool. And honestly, after that, that's the only thing I've been doing. So I'm in anthropology department. I know plenty of primatologists who are in zoology departments, ecology departments. It kind of, when you say you're a primatologist, all that really means is that you study primates. So some people might study what they're eating and they could be in an ecology department, or some people can study how they communicate with each other and the evolution of that. And some of those researchers would be in a psychology department. Maybe you're studying animal welfare. And so you have primatologists who are working as curators in zoos. Some primatologists are really interested in conservation, and so they might be running NGOs in different countries. And so really the term primatologist is even broader than anthropologist, really, because it's just narrowing in on our study subject. But what part of that study subject can place you in all sorts of departments. So it's slightly different because anthropology is really just the study of humans. It's like the anthro part of that word is humans. And the way that studying primates fits into anthropology is that we really look to them to figure out our evolutionary history. So a trait or a behavior or some sort of relationship that you might find in primates, it's safe to say that early humans and current humans probably possess like the capacity for the same sorts of behaviors and relationships and whatnot. And so you find primatologists in all sorts of departments, honestly, but anthropology is a consistent one in that we take an evolutionary perspective on what primates are doing and how that can relate to humans.
Have you only been looking into the loris as of right now, or have you studied other animals in the past?
So I've studied other animals in the past, but none as extensively as the slow loris. When I was, oh goodness, in high school, I worked at the University of Chicago hospitals, and so I was doing research on people more or less. And then some of my early research in undergraduate was actually studying the Somali wild ass and zebras at the St. Louis Zoo. I also did a project studying the chimpanzees there. And so I've looked at some other animals, all kind of learning skills along the way. But then when I went to graduate school, I landed on the slow loris. And that's what I've been doing ever since. Not that other primates or other animals aren't interesting, but there's just something about slow lorises.
Being a woman in STEM as well, in your experiences, how diverse was your STEM field going through your college days?
Not very diverse at all, actually. I don't recall many African Americans being within my segment of anthropology. Broadly speaking, about anthropology, it is more diverse because there's like a strong cultural and social component to it. And I find that that's one of the areas in which there has been historically more diverse individuals and more of social sciences, which anthropology does fit into it. But biological anthropology is kind of on this fence between more STEM fields as well as some social sciences. But in terms of sex, I think that primatology has a lot of females. I don't know what it is about studying primates or studying animals in general. I think animal behavior also has a skew towards having more females relative to males within the field, but that doesn't hold true as you move up sort of the hierarchy of it. So there are still fewer female full professors within these fields, despite there being more female students and female graduate students and female like practitioners. And so there's obviously some sort of, you know, hole in the pipeline as we move up, but there is no shortage of people that are interested in it.